Last spring, my neighbor Carol walked into a car dealership on a Tuesday afternoon. She is 71 years old, sharp as anyone I know, retired school principal, handles her own finances, never lets anyone push her around. She walked out 4 hours later with a brand new car, a monthly payment she did not expect, and 3 products she does not remember agreeing to buy. She called me that evening, said she felt like something had happened in there, but she could not quite name what it was. I knew exactly what had happened. Carol got played, not because she was careless, not because she was naive, because the system she walked into was specifically designed to do exactly that, to people exactly like her. Today I am going to show you every single layer of that system, and by the time we finish, you are going to walk into any dealership in America or never walk into one the same way again. This is the video I wish someone had handed me before I bought my last car. Stay with me for the full thing. It is worth it. I want to start by telling you something that took me a long time to accept about my own car buying experience. I thought I was prepared. I had done my research. I knew the sticker price on the car I wanted. I had looked up the invoice price, what the dealer actually pays the manufacturer for the car. The sticker was $32,000. The invoice I found online said $29,900. I negotiated hard for over an hour. I got them down to $29,950 above invoice. The salesman leaned back and told me they were basically losing money on the deal. I drove home feeling like I had won. I had not won. Not even close. Here is what I did not know that day. The invoice price I found online is not the dealer's actual cost. It is just the number they show you. Underneath that number, there is a layer called dealer holdback. After every sale, the manufacturer sends money back to the dealership, typically 2 to 3% of the sticker price. On a $32,000 car, that is $640 to $964 back to the dealer after you drive away. So on my deal where the salesman said he was losing money, he made between $640 and $960 before we even finished the paperwork. And that was just the first hidden layer. There are more, many more. There are also dealer cash incentives, secret bonuses the manufacturer pays when they need to move specific models off the lot. You will never see these listed anywhere. Not on Consumer Reports, not on Edmunds, not on any website you can find. There are volume bonuses. The more cars a dealership sells in a month, the bigger the bonus they receive from the manufacturer. This is why dealerships get suddenly flexible at the end of the month. They are not being generous. They are chasing a sales threshold worth tens of thousands of dollars. There are regional incentives for slow markets. There is floor plan assistance. The manufacturer actually helps dealers pay the interest on their inventory loans. By the time you add all of these together, the dealer's true cost is often thousands below the invoice number you researched so carefully. You brought a knife to a gunfight, and nobody told you. But here is the part that matters most. All of that, the holdback, the incentives, the volume bonuses, that is not even where the real money is made. The real money is made in a room you walk into after you think the negotiation is already over. You shook hands, you agreed on a price, you feel the tension release from your shoulders, and then someone walks you down a hallway into a smaller, quieter office. They call the person in that room the finance manager. Do not let the title fool you. The finance manager is not there to process paperwork. The finance manager is the highest earning salesperson in the building, and you are walking in with your guard completely down. This is the most profitable room in the entire dealership, and almost every buyer walks in there thinking the hard part is already behind them. In that office, here is what is about to happen. First, they offer you financing through the dealership. What they do not tell you is that the lender already approved you at, say, 4%, but the dealership is going to charge you 5%. That extra 1% called the loan reserve is pure profit. Across every car they sell, this markup earns them $600 to $800 per transaction. Then comes the extended warranty. They hand you a brochure listing everything it covers. It sounds comprehensive. What they do not highlight is the profit margin built in, $700 to $1,000 per sale. Then gap insurance. If your car gets totaled and your loan balance is higher than the car's value, gap insurance covers the difference. The profit margin built into the version they sell you is $250 to $400. Then paint protection, wheel protection, fabric sealant, small ticket items, $100 to $300 each, added quickly, almost as an afterthought. Then the paperwork fees, a documentation fee, charging you to print and process your own contract, registration markups, electronic filing fees, a fee for the temporary paper tag on your windshield. Each one looks small. Together, the finance office generates $2,700 to $2,900 in profit per car. on top of whatever they made selling you the car. This is the room that made the difference between what Carol expected to pay and what Carol actually paid. She never saw it coming because nobody told her it existed. I want to tell you about my friend Harold, retired engineer, careful man, methodical. Harold decided he was going to outsmart the dealership. He had read somewhere that cash buyers have all the power. No financing, no games, just a clean transaction. He walked in and announced 5 words. I am paying cash, best price. He thought he was holding all the cards. Here is what the dealership heard. This man just eliminated $2,000 to $2,800 of profit from our finance office. So they did the only logical thing. They made it up on the purchase price. Harold got less flexibility in negotiation. The salesman held firmer on every number. Harold paid $2,400 more than he needed to for the same car, at the same dealership, same month, as someone who had financed. Harold called me afterward, proud of himself for not getting into any financing games. I did not have the heart to tell him that day. Cash is king everywhere except a car dealership. At a dealership, financing is the product. Now, before I tell you what actually works, I want to talk about something specific to us, to people in their 60s and 70s who walk into dealerships. Because there are things the dealership knows about you before you say a single word. They know you likely have good credit. They know you are probably replacing a car you have driven for 10 or more years. They know you have retirement savings, real money, not a young person's paycheck. They know you value reliability and safety over sportiness and style. And they know something else, that retired people on average spend more time at the dealership than younger buyers. You are not rushing back to an office. You have the afternoon. And a longer visit, psychologically, increases the chance of agreement because nobody wants to leave after 4 hours with nothing. That patience you have, that is normally a virtue. In a car dealership, it is used against you. This is not an opinion, it is a documented sales technique. And it works because you are too polite to just walk out. There is also a testing system built into every dealership visit that most people never notice. The moment you walk in, someone hands you a clipboard. Name, address, the car you want, and one critical question. Are you planning to pay cash or finance? That form is not a formality, it is a filter. Your answer determines how the entire experience unfolds. If you write cash, the dealership recalibrates immediately. They know they are losing their most profitable room. They compensate on the front end. Price goes up, flexibility goes down. Test 2 comes about 2/3 through the negotiation. They say they need to run your credit, just to confirm you qualify. It sounds routine. It is a commitment check in disguise. By the time you reach the finance office, you have confirmed your financing intent 2 or 3 times without ever realizing you were being tested. The system is smooth. It is practiced. It runs the same way on every single customer who walks through that door. Carol did not fail. She just walked into a process she had never been shown. So what do you actually do? Here is the strategy, broken into simple steps. Step 1. Walk in as a financing buyer. Do not mention cash at any point during negotiation. This keeps you classified as a high-profit customer in their system, which gives you maximum flexibility on the purchase price. The dealership will be more generous because they expect to recover margin in the finance office. Step 2. At the clipboard, write financing. But ask one specific question. What is the loan origination fee? This signals you are a careful buyer who understands loan structures. It also plants a seed that you may be comparing their financing against your own bank. That is useful leverage. It costs you nothing to ask it. Step 3. Negotiate the purchase price as hard as you can. Ask to see the invoice price. Tell them you have done your research. Do not settle on the first number. Do not settle on the second. The end of the month is your best friend. Ask for an appointment on the last 2 days of any month. That is when the dealership is most motivated to close. Step 4. In the finance office, negotiate everything. You now know the margins. The extended warranty has $700 to $1,000 of profit in it. That is negotiable. Gap insurance has $250 to $400 of profit. Negotiable. The documentation fee is negotiable in many states. You do not have to buy everything they present. And the things you do want, ask for a better price. Most people never ask. Asking alone saves money. Step 5. Before you sign anything, read every line. Every fee should be listed explicitly. If something appears that you do not recognize, ask what it is before you sign. Take your time. You are allowed to read. You are allowed to ask questions. Do not let anyone rush you in that office. Slow down. This is your money. Most importantly, confirm 2 things in writing before you sign. No loan origination fee. No prepayment penalty. Write those down before you go in. Ask for them directly. If either exist, recalculate whether the strategy still works for your specific numbers. In most cases, it still does, but run the math first. Step 6. Sign the loan, drive home, pay off the loan the following week. You financed the car technically. You got the financing buyer's price. You avoided the cash buyer penalty, and you paid almost no interest because you paid it off before a full billing cycle even completed. The system ran, but this time it ran for you, not on you. I want to come back to Carol for a moment. After she called me that evening, confused and unsettled, we sat down together the next morning and went through every document she had signed. She had agreed to an extended warranty she did not need. She had agreed to gap insurance on a car she had paid a large down payment on. In total, Carol had paid approximately $3,200 more than she needed to. Not because she was careless, because nobody had ever explained the room she walked into at the end. She called the dealership the next morning. In many states, you have a short window to cancel certain add-on products after purchase. She canceled the extended warranty. She canceled the gap insurance. She recovered over $1,800. The documentation fee was non-refundable. But even then, she walked away having taken back more than half of what the system had quietly taken from her. If you bought a car recently and something felt off in that back office, check your paperwork today. You may still have time. That cancellation window is real, and most people never use it. Here's what I want you to take from all of this. A car dealership is not your enemy. They are running a business, and the business is designed brilliantly, layer upon layer of profit, most of it invisible, most of it extracted after you think the negotiation is already over. Understanding the system is not about distrust. It is about walking in as an equal. You worked hard for the money in your retirement account. You saved it carefully. You protected it through decades of good decisions. Do not give it away in a room at the end of a hallway because nobody told you what that room was for. Now you know. Walk in prepared. Ask the questions. Read the lines. Take your time. You have earned that right. Next week, we are going to talk about the Social Security decision that cost retirees thousands of dollars and almost nobody catches it in time. I will see you then. Pull up a chair.